You live here?
Sort of between places right now.
I tell the producers, like, what does it take for the lead actor to get his own set here?
Do you want a key to my place?
Not even a little bit. Wait, do you have a place?
I think so.
Well, he's such a freeloader. He's always with the ladies' place, you know?
Look at this badge. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think that my life is so neat? Wouldn't you think I'm the cop who has everything? Look at this gun, ammo untold. How many bullets can one barrel hold? Looking around here, it seems I've shot many peeps. I've shot Bruce, I've shot Penguin, I've shot Nigma, I've shot Jerome, I shot Mario too. You know the League of Shadows? I shot 20. But who cares? Big friggin' deal. I want more. I wanna sleep where the people sleep. I wanna have a pillow and blanket cuddling up under those, what do you call them? Oh, sheets. Sleeping outside, you don't get much rest. Beds are required for napping, snoozing, better than sleeping in, what was it? Bullock's back seat. Up where they eat, up where they sleep, up where they rest their aching feet. Wandering free, then I won't be a homeless cop. What would I give if I could have my own garage? I'd know what to say when people ask what's your address. I would impress Lee when she sees that I have my own driveway. She would forgive me and live with me. She would say yes, and ready to have what homeowners have. A food of pantry and nice refrigerator. What is a stove and how does it, what's the word, burn? When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to have a roof to look at up above? Just me and Lee. Then I won't be a homeless cop.
Happy birthday from the Gotham Chronicle podcast, powered by the BatmanUniverse.net. Check out the Batman Universe for this and many other great Batman podcasts. I'm Josh, and for Bruce Wayne's birthday, I got him a really, really, really big turtleneck sweater and some amnesia needles because he likes those.
This is Don, and I brought him many good tidings and, lots of bandages and Band-Aids for the pain the rest of his life will give him.
This is Jan, and I brought him some random orphan boys to eventually adopt.
Well, he can never, just what he wanted, he can never have enough of those.
He can't. He really can't.
Yeah. So this week's episode is called That's Entertainment, and it's Bruce's birthday, and the party is first crashed by Selena, who's like, oh, I was just randomly in this neighborhood where there's no other houses. Give me some cake, kid. And then Gordon and Lucius crash it too, like, Bruce, this party kind of blows. There's a different party downtown you can go to. All your friends are there, like Jerome, the new mayor, the new commissioner who's still alive.
The new Scarecrow, the new Firefly.
yeah, like, come on. That party's a lot better.
Freeze.
Yeah. So Jerome is doing this plan, which he takes over this rock concert and attaches bombs to, some important city officials and some I do declare, like evangelicals or something. And he wants his brother Jeremiah, and he wants Bruce. So Gordon thinks that he has this plan, which I'll get more into when we talk about the episode as a whole. But it's a stupid plan to, like, throw the teenage boy on stage, at the mercy of this guy. Yeah. But luckily, Penguin, does not want to go along with this. So he doesn't want to help them release the gas, which will Jokerize the entire city. So he decides not to do that. Some things go wrong, some things go right. But in the end, Jerome lets himself fall to his death, but warns, homeless cop that he will live on. And at the end, Jeremiah gets a present, and it's Joker venom. And I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, he's the Joker now. I guess we'll say. So that happens.
We predicted last week.
It wasn't even like a prediction as much as it was like, like we were told, like 2 + 2, and we said, okay, so it must equal 4.
Yeah.
We used all the information in front of us. It was, I don't want to make it sound, I don't know. I might edit that part out because that sounds, what I just said, not what you just said, because it makes it sound like I'm hating on something that I don't know.
No, it doesn't. You're stating what happened. They kept saying that, oh, he's not the real Joker. He's the inspiration for a Joker. Oh, look, it's his amazing twin brother so that we can keep the same guy as the Joker without it being the same guy. And then they put that together, and that's what happened. They didn't do anything that they say they wouldn't do. They literally told us exactly what they were going to do before and while they were doing it.
Yeah. And speaking of doing stuff, Barbara Keene is hanging around with the League of Assassins and like going through like buried treasure rooms of Ra's al Ghul, and Tabitha's like, yeah, this isn't like you. Isn't your character like just supposed to like hang out at a nightclub with me and Selena? And she's like, oh no, this has always been my destiny, like since season 1 and all that like stuff I did. And Tabitha's like, but it wasn't. And it's like, boys, take her away. And then
Girls. Boys.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm used to hearing. I don't see gender, Jan, which makes locker rooms really confusing for me. So when that happens, we get the Y chromosome version, because I guess I do see gender. The Y chromosome version of the League of Shadows tell Tabitha, oh, you don't even know the real story, and there's some cliffhangery goodness there. So that's entertainment. That's Bruce's birthday. For his birthday, he met the Joker, and for his birthday, the Joker was born. So, not the best present for a Batman, but there it is. Folks, what did we think of this?
I liked everything that didn't have to do with Barbara Keene. And I'm seriously hoping they fix what they did to Tabitha, because that's like really obnoxious.
I'm kind of, well, I wouldn't go that far. I thought the episode was all right. My favorite part about it was the penguin stuff. I thought that was fun to watch. We'll talk about the Jerome stuff. I'm not even sure how I feel about it. It's just kind of just a lot of observation rather than eliciting a lot of emotion. The Barbara Keene stuff was every bit as bad as we knew it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I have a theory about it, but we can talk it out. But this kind of felt like a big game changing kind of thing, but I feel really middle of the road about it. I'm not mad. I'm not like it's not a big deal, but like I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm kind of just feeling so about it, so we can kind of talk it through.
Yeah, I thought that the third act of this episode was really good. Suspenseful and everything. I liked everything coming together at the end. I'm intrigued, but also worried about, this Joker thing, which, as Jan mentioned, we knew was coming for a variety of reasons. But I was, that's entertainment. I was entertained by the second half of this episode. The Barbara Keene stuff, there's a lot of theories and stuff floating around. I'm continued to be like, WTF amused by her current status, but I don't know. Things are taking some weird turns there. But I guess the very first thing that we should go into, which is, the main thing of this episode, is the death of Jerome and the birth of Jeremiah as the Joker. which Don, I want you to talk me through, like, I guess what you went through with this, because I know that you were spoiled by this by other sources. So I want you to tell that story.
Well, both of you guys said that it didn't count because we knew it was going to happen. So maybe I should categorize it differently. But no, because this came out on Thursday. I watched it on Friday after I got off work on DVR this time. So like as I was clocking, I was legitimately like kind of leaving my station, clocking out, and I was on my phone on the YouTube app, just kind of just mindlessly perusing it because sometimes I listen to people and whatever. And there was this thing called spoilers. Jeremiah becomes the Joker. And it's like the last shot where like the very last thing before the titles where you see his face kind of turn. And I was like, all right, the first thing I got to do when I step through my house is to watch the episode. And this isn't like someone spoiled like the biggest thing ever for me. But at the same time, I don't know. It would have been like if they said like way back when, spoilers, Bruce kills Rachel Gould or something like that. It's like whether it happens or not, you don't really want to know that it happens. So
yeah,
it at least got me to like because I remember talking on the phone with Josh like I'll probably watch it either before I go to work or probably after. And this one kind of like made me do it. Not that I was putting it off, but I got a lot of stuff to do. But that's kind of my story. That like I kind of knew the very last shot of it, and that's the kind of thing that we'll talk about because I don't know. Like for one thing, Jerome's plan basically like, I'll get my friend or my brother
like that.
I forgot which one I was talking about for a second. Joker.
I'm seeing double 4 Jeromes.
Yeah. But like, his plan was like, I'm going to drive him crazy and force him to hurt somebody. It felt, even for this version of the character, it felt really kind of incomplete. Like it's kind of like in Batman '89 how like the plot involved Joker. Oh, I guess I'll run up this cathedral now, and that was because the writers did not know what they were going to do at that point. It kind of felt similar to that, where they kind of wrote themselves in sort of a plot-wise corner. And also, say again.
I just saw that they did it for aesthetic.
I mean, the story goes that the whole cathedral thing was kind of written in the last, like as they were filming, and like Jack Nicholson said, "Why am I doing this?" and Tim Burton said, "I don't know." But like,
Jack Nicholson got paid for Batman Returns. He has no room to complain.
No, it's just Batman. Returns was Danny DeVito.
No, he got paid for both.
Yeah, like his contract was like, if you do this movie, we'll pay you for the sequel that you're not even going to be in. Like that's like. And did he get top billing?
On Batman, yeah. Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton. But,
wow, yeah.
But just to kind of finish my point, like, the whole thing of like, the whole plan kind of hinged upon, the speed of Harvey Bullock, because once Harvey Bullock got up there, like Jerome like seemingly didn't know what to do. And I was kind of like, okay, where is this going? And then like he was like, when the dream ends, the nightmare begins. Ha ha ha! And like he dies, and he turns.
I understood that reference.
Yeah, then he turns Jeremiah into the Joker. Like, I'm not saying this sucks, but like, I'm like, was his plan? It doesn't really sit right with me because I'm not sure what the point, like what the long game is. So I'm kind of feeling unsatisfied by the episode. So that's kind of where I'm right now. I'm interested to hear what you guys think.
I was mostly amused by the fact that when he took over the stage, he was playing the '66 Batman theme. Because like, I was like, oh my god, this is the best. This is the best. I love it. I was like, yes, this is how you do it. This is how you just randomly insert the theme into the TV show. Because I couldn't picture them doing it any other way. Because it would just be like he's just, and it was just those two, like those two bars, and that was like it. It wasn't like the full song. So that was nice. That was a nice Easter egg. We both know that homeless cop is not the smartest cop. That's why he's homeless. So. Okay, so I was actually fine with almost everything. I did have a problem with Penguin. I don't know why I thought that it was going to be written better than it was, or like I would have like he would have thought further than he did, because the moment that homeless cop thought further than he did, I was just like, oh my God, I thought that was your whole reasoning for going to Gordon in the first place. I mean, he said, I'm scared of this guy. He terrifies me. I was like, okay, that's a good angle. And then later Gordon goes, you can't run a city, run an
empire. It's like
lunatics,
no one.
full of lunatics. And I was like, and the look on his face, like, oh yeah, I was like, really? You're the smart one. I thought that's why you went to Gordon in the first place. I thought he went to Gordon because he knew that if the Joker Jokerized the entire city, he would literally have nothing to control. Well, he could try, but it would be like herding cats, and it wouldn't work. And trust me, having lived in this house for like a couple of days with 3 cats, you can't herd them.
Jan's on vacation, folks.
Yeah, I'm on vacation. They are very fuzzy, very sweet, very loving cats, but they're not herdable. And the other thing,
I'll call this one Cameron, this one Michelle, and this one, I'm blanking on who was in Dark Knight Rises. Anne.
All the Catwoman actors.
Yeah. You're naming each cat after Catwoman. Like, I'll call this one Anne, I'll call this one Cameron, and I'll call this one Michelle.
Oh, okay. There we go. Thank you. I was like, Anne? Who was Anne? There's an Anne? Like, I was thinking about the character. I was like, he's talking about, like, love interests? Technically, yes, but it's not a bad thing. When it happened, I was thinking, Don must really appreciate this because he likes this kind of thing where everything is told to you. But when the box went off, the smoke went off, and no, because every time something happens, he's like, we could have used another, like, beat of exposition here. And I'm like, I really don't need the exposition. I can fill in the blanks myself. But when the smoke went off into Jeremiah's face, and then you heard Jerome's, you will make my revenge. I was like, really? Because you could have just had the smoke go into his face, and that would have been enough for me. I didn't need to hear you, like, try to leave a parting message.
We'll say, though, that, like, it was really hard for me to understand what that thing was saying, because, like, the sound of my television wasn't great. I didn't really get the 66 guitar riff. I couldn't tell that was what was going on. I could not understand what that puppet was saying. So, if that's the gist of what he was saying, you're my final plan or whatever. That's okay.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I also missed the 66 guitar riff. So like Jan, like but like Jan heard it, and so did like all of Twitter and Reddit. So it just must be like Don and I, or I don't know, like
also. How did I watch it? Oh, I watched it on Hulu, and I had her turn on the subtitles. So I watched with subtitles so I don't miss dialogue, because I know, especially in a room with other people and other things going on, and my habit of like looking at other things while I'm watching something. Although I do try to focus as much as I can on the television when I'm watching Gotham for the podcast. I might miss something, so if I feel like I won't always be looking directly at the screen, but I can hear it. But if I look at the screen, I usually read and listen because it helps me remember things. And I also watch a lot of subtitle stuff anyway, so it just happens to read. So yeah, he was all like, "Yeah, brother, go. You are going to be my revenge on this city," and blah 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 blah. Like he knew he was going to die. He was ready. He was turning his brother into the Joker. Like, be who you really are.
Okay.
Basically, he just shot him up with a touch virus and called it a day.
Oh, yeah. It would have been funny if Mad Hatter's like, oh, and here's a little bit of like my sister's blood, like for your like venom too, like just to like, since they're doing, like it's like parts like Joker venom, but it was like also like fear gas, and then like just throwing something from every villain. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know if you heard what he said, but it was a specific formulated formula just for Jeremiah. It's not like the other Joker gas. It's specifically created for Jeremiah to turn him into the Joker, to make him lose his inhibitions, cut loose.
Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about that, I hope.
Yeah. One thing that I said was just knowing that Jeremiah... Wow. this is going to be really interesting for the next few weeks. Okay.
Joker too.
Yeah, knowing that Jerome, because I keep on saying that, this is going to happen a lot, folks. We're going to say the wrong brother's name. Knowing that Jerome was going to die, what would have been an interesting thing for the writers to do, instead of having him fall to his death that way, was, since everyone was assuming, like, people who weren't following, like, the interviews and stuff like Jan and I were, for the audience members who just, like, watch on Thursdays and, like, know nothing else going on, the ones who thought that Jerome was going to be the Joker, it would have actually been interesting if, like, when Gordon is chasing Jerome, I called him Jordan this time, not Homeless Cop, they wound up in Ace Chemical or Access Chemical or something.
You said Jordan.
Gordon and Jerome have a baby.
He doesn't even deserve a name now. He's just anyone we say.
Yeah. Okay, so Gordon is chasing Jerome into Ace Chemical, Access Chemical, or whatever, and it looks like he's going to, like, fall into the vat of acid, and then the audience who's watching is like, you can't fool me, I know what's going to happen, he's going to fall and becomes the Joker. But instead of that, like, I said, he falls into the acid, and it burns him alive, and he dies, and, like, he's very clearly dead. It's not like a skeleton that you could, like, reveal later, like, wasn't Jerome, like, he switched to that. Like, you see Jerome, like, die, so it's like, oh, he didn't become the Joker. Like, when he falls in, they think he's going to become the Joker. Don took it one step further and said, actually, when he falls, he misses the vat of acid and just, like, hits his head on the ground and breaks his neck and dies. So that would have been an interesting way to play with expectations, and then you do that, like, scene at the end.
I don't know. I mean, in the vat of acid would be better, because then everything would be dissolved versus hitting his head and then getting stuck in a tube. It's like, stop, I'm back, bro.
And if you see him get dissolved, then you can't pull something like Hugo Strange, like, you know, come, Ghost Peabody, you know, we'll bring Jerome back, you know, like...
his bones.
Yeah. Now that Jerome's dead, again, because, like, this is the second time he's died, too, so, like, it takes a bit of the punch out of it, where, like, you know, he's died before, and this show does have the revolving door of death. I don't remember how much of this I said last week when we were, like, basically talking about this, but what I don't like is building up someone that we've had for years, and, like, they're basically the Joker, and then you kill him and make his twin brother the Joker. On the one hand, it's the same actor, yeah, but it's like, that. I don't know. And what I've said offline is, if they're just going to have Jeremiah do and say and act like the same way Jerome did, it's kind of a waste. Like, if you're going to make his twin brother the Joker instead of him, we need a reason why this isn't Jerome. If he's just going to be a copy of Jerome, if he's just going to be like an extension of Jerome, or Jerome lives on through him, you know, I don't want the Joker to be someone that... I want him to play it differently. And the Joker's a very nuanced character, so, like, one suggestion that I had is maybe Jeremiah has different parts of the Joker's personality that Jerome didn't have. And Cameron Monaghan made a tweet that did give me some hope. I'm going to read that tweet now. He says, I seriously can't wait for you all to meet this guy in the final 3 episodes of the season. Because he's not going to be in next week's episode, but he'll be in the final 3, I guess. He's different than what you all might expect. He's new and subtle, and I genuinely think he might be the darkest, most frightening thing the show has ever done. So, on the one hand, he's an actor, and he's doing hype about a project, so, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that, like, it's going to be as awesome as he says it's going to be. But he's saying that it's different than what you might expect, and that it's new and subtle. So, if that's the case, if he's going to be different than Jerome, then I will be okay with this. But if he's just going to be, like, you know, a color palette swap of Jerome, like Mario and Luigi or something. Oh, I said Mario. Don't let Ben McKenzie hear me. But, like, if it's just going to be like that, then I'm not for this. I don't like the idea of just killing. It's like I might have made this comparison before, but on Simpsons, when they killed off the character Fat Tony and then introduced his brother Fit Tony, and then Fit Tony became fat, and now he's Fat Tony. And, like, nothing's ever changed. Like, that's stupid. Don't do that, Gotham.
Yeah. At this point, you know, there's plenty of, you know, wait and see. Let's see what's going to happen. But at this point, I don't see a lot of trajectory for this to be like a great idea. Because I mean, the whole thing about, you know, oh, you're worse than I am, you're crazy. They've still not really shown us that. And I feel that, like, I don't like the fact that they're just telling us that without kind of demonstrating that to the audience. Like I thought for sure that like the final scene where he was making a drink in his like little computer office or whatever, we would see him like kind of be crazy. But no, it's still like, basically his brother making him be the Joker. And at this point in time, I mean, they might justify it. Imagination is a wonderful thing. But I don't know. I don't see this working out. Now, I was talking with my brother about this, and he doesn't watch the show. But he looked up some clips because he heard about how good Jerome was. He says, I don't really see anything that like I've not seen with other actors. And I was like, well, that's why we like him, because he's a good amalgamation of the best elements of the Joker. And he said, well, maybe this new version will be a legitimately different kind of like Gotham version of the Joker, not just because it's on the show. So the new version might be kind of like a new brand spanking kind of like iteration that we've never seen before, which would be interesting. That might justify it, but at this point, it's still weird. It's still like, okay, well, I think we like Jerome because he was the most at home with what we knew about the character, whereas most of the other characters are kind of they're kind of inconsistently recognizable from their source material. So I'm wondering if this new version is going to be kind of like them, then it's a real gamble to kind of put all your chips in something people would like, and then throw that out for something totally new. So I guess I'll have to wait to see about it. But right now, I don't know. I'm not really convinced that this is a good idea.
Yeah, I don't want to prejudge it too much. Like, I don't want to say, because one thing that some other podcasts, related to comic books and TV shows do that I don't like is they get mad about something that they think is going to happen but hasn't actually happened. Like, oh my gosh, I can't stand this. They're totally going to, eat pie next week, based on my intuition. And I hate it when they eat pie. I'm just not actually eating pie, but I'm just, replace pie with Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, or Star Wars doing something stupid. Like, I'm so mad that that this thing is going to happen. This gets an F because of my prediction.
Per Jeremiah, I'm actually, what you were saying about like a total new type of more subtle Joker, I want to see what they want to do, because they've clearly had him play all the other Jokers already. But I want to see how they try to make the Joker their own. And this can go really good, or I might have to quit. So, but I won't.
Is it the first time you said you might drop the show for something, even in jest? Ra's al Ghul. Oh yeah, well, this is pushing you, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, although Barbara Keene is really making me like super upsetting on a level that, we're not going to get into yet until we get into that. But
we still have to talk about Bruce's birthday candles and the conspiracy theories behind that.
How many candles did he have on that cake?
Ask Reddit, because they can't agree on it. It's like that dress from remember that dress where it's it's blue or it's white or it's gold, from a few years ago? That dress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I saw blue and white.
Yeah, so that birthday cake is like that dress, because people if you look at it this angle, it's 17 candles. No, it's 18 candles. No, it's it was any number from 16 to 18. And there was people downvoting other thing. You're downvoting me just because I see a different number of candles than you see.
Are you serious?
And then someone was
apparently they're crazy there. And you guys hate on Tumblr.
I like some of the stuff on Tumblr. I like there's just some crazy people on that Gotham Tumblr. So, or Tumblr. I'm sorry. Did I say Tumblr? I meant to say Reddit. This was Reddit. Not did I say Tumblr this whole time?
Well, she said Tumblr.
Yes,
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I'm much more mad at Reddit.
And then you're talking about people who sound crazy on Reddit, and then I said, and you guys hate on Tumblr.
Okay, yeah. I thought I was saying Tumblr this whole time. My brain is at 40% capacity right now because of the crazy work weekend I've had. So yeah, I like some of the stuff that people say on Reddit. Some of them come up with brilliant things, but other times it's they were fighting over birthday candles and downvoting other people. And then it was funny because someone was like, aha, 18 candles, he's 18. And then someone said, nah, because 17 candles. And then Alfred put an extra one on there for good luck.
Why don't these fools just ask them on Twitter? Hey, Sean Pertwee or Danny Cannon or Dami Mazzales, how many candles are meant to be his birthday candles?
Davi Mazouz would tell them that like Harley Quinn's on the birthday cake, and then like
they'll be like, "Where?"
I've superimposed the image, and I do see that the candles, when arranged the right way, spell out Harley Quinn is coming, and she's being played by so and so.
Cameron Monaghan.
He's Batman and the Joker and Scarecrow. He's a new Penguin. His other twin half cousin, twice removed, will be Solomon Grundy. That's fine.
When the gas squirts Jeremiah, his face like goes that laughing, and he looks up and he says into the camera, "Puddin'." Plot twist: Jeremiah was Harley Quinn, not the Joker.
That would have been interesting. And like Harley was like the big bad of the series.
Well, then, that just means that all those Supernatural fans will be coming over.
Twincest. Okay. Yeah. Were we on? I'm sorry, Jam. Were you on a point before we started talking about birthday candles?
Just that I'm just really interested to see in how they're going to write the Joker because, like I said, Cameron's already played the other four. It's 1 minute.
Caesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Jared. Well, not Jared Leto, really, but yeah.
What do you mean not Jared Leto? Really?
I mean, no, but I don't think he's done anything Jared Leto has.
I thought you were saying he didn't count, and I was like, whether we like him or not, he counts, unfortunately. So,
hold on. So, yeah. So 3 out of the 4 because he wasn't grody. I talk so much shit about a movie I haven't seen, but I've seen clips of him because I just wanted to see how he was, and it was just very upsetting to watch.
If you've seen clips, you've seen him in the movie because he's only in like 5 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, I was surprised he wasn't the big bad, but that's not the point of this podcast. But yeah, and I don't have faith in the writing, and I don't have faith in the direction, even though the season has been consistently, except for that one problematic line that we'll talk about later, this season has been consistently getting better with what they have to work with, considering they have a homeless cop.
I love you.
With what they have to work with. Like all the characters have been written really well. All the acting has been done really well. The characterization, I'm like all for. Like since I think after Raish died up till now, I feel like all the characterization has been really good. Even Barbara's still problematic forever. Oh my god. But she was still written in her true to form, despite the fact that she said she'd be different this season. So I have some faith that the Joker will, plot-wise, could possibly be a disappointment because Gotham is really weird with its plots. But like character-wise, development-wise, execution-wise, by Cameron, directional-wise, I feel like it could be really good.
So I want to
have high hopes for the Joker going on into the future.
So one thing that really bothered me about go ahead. I thought you were done. Sorry.
No, I said yeah. I was supporting you.
Okay. One thing that really bothered me about this plot line, which made it like this episode, like I said, it had a good third act at the beginning, bothered me, was that the police captain going to a teenage boy who's been like a kidnapping victim of this guy twice, saying, "We want you to go on stage with this murderer, like as bait." And I'm like, yeah, the cops wouldn't like this. This would be like if Alan and Montoya were still on the show, like doing internal revenues, like investigations against Gorder. This would be like a big, sticking point. Like, no, like you will lose your like job as captain for doing this plan. Like, no police department will do this. And I know Gotham Police Department, they're all cowboys there, like rogues and stuff. But like,
He's homeless.
He is home. He thinks that if Jerome kills Bruce, he gets to keep Wayne Manor. That's how it works, right? At last, it's all mine.
Well, I mean, I told you before that, like, they blew up the commissioner's head, so he can do whatever he wants. No one's going to stop him.
You don't do that.
Nothing but size.
Like that was that homeless or not, and he's homeless. Don't get me wrong. He is so very homeless.
Technically, he's not, but like we just don't see it.
Yes,
Technically, he's not. Ben McKenzie confirmed it to me. At the Tumblr headquarters, he said they took my home away.
I mean, what are they going to do? Like, you're no longer commissioner. Oh no, and I can no longer sleep in the locker room here.
That desk folds out into a bed.
That's fine.
I see what you're saying, though. The plan was dumb because I feel that, like, the whole sniper scheme, I thought it was obvious that they should look out for people who might sneak up behind them. And I was surprised that was supposed to be the big twist. Like, I thought about that before. It's like, really? And then when Bullock showed up, it's like, okay, the plan's back on, and it starts working. I just thought was not great. If it was supposed to be like a bad plan for Gordon, the show didn't play it that way. It just kind of felt like the whole made it kind of feel like filler.
You don't use the civilians, especially children civilians, as baits. That is irresponsible. Like, Alfred has like a lawsuit on his hands against those guys.
It's true.
I mean, and I get that it's Bruce Wayne. This isn't some little boy, like whatever, but it's still, like, for all intents and purposes. And I did love how, like, when all hell broke loose, like, he punched Firefly out, like, yeah, go Batman.
That he did.
And on his birthday, have you no shame? On his birthday.
Oh, no kidding.
Which means that, like, had Jerome not, like, done that, Lucius Fox and Gordon would not have visited Bruce on his birthday. They were just there for the plan.
It's true. But they were working, so.
Yeah, in fairness, they were busy. It wasn't like they were sitting at home on YouTube or something.
That was like, Bruce was like, You remembered my birthday, Alfred? Like, what do you mean you remembered? Like,
he raised you.
Yeah, like, his very job is basically to, like, follow you around and, like, help you live your life. Of course he remembered your birthday. Like, I worked so hard.
Are we
to
talking
try
about
and
the
make you
Batmobile he
forget.
got in this episode?
Yeah.
It wasn't a Ford Focus.
It sure wasn't a Ford Focus. No. Addendum. Ford Focus is for villains only.
That is true. The Tabitha Mobile.
And also, the Riddler.
I'm surprised that they, like, didn't use that opportunity. Like, did Ford Focus not, like, renew their contract with them or something? Like,
Yeah, but you can't armor up a Ford Focus, because then people will want to buy the armored Ford Focus.
as Alfred's, like, shooting the car, like, little text appears on the bottom of the screen. Warning, Ford Focuses may not actually be bulletproof.
Yeah, I was like, that scene actually kind of bothered me when he started shooting it. I was like, what if the bullet ricocheted off the car and shot Bruce?
He had a gun
Still
ready
not
to go.
as stupid
just
as Gordon making Bruce go on stage with the guy that's tried to kill him twice. Or, 3 times now. God.
Your facts. But, Gordon's like, I got this. You're not even... Oh, okay, never mind.
The
I just Googled Ford Focus Gotham to see, like, if the contract's been renewed.
Yeah. The whole thing was kind of sketch. Quite sketch. I don't know. Like I remember, like, last episode, I think I was saying that, like, or maybe the episode beforehand, that, like, this kind of feels like it's barreling down the season finale, and it felt like, okay, so now it's time to kind of kick off Jerome again. I mean, I get that his whole plan was to drive Gotham crazy with the gas. I understand that. So maybe when that was foiled, he really didn't have anything anywhere else to go. He didn't really kind of think of anything beyond that, which is fine. But I was just so surprised that, like, after that, everything kind of just went the whole other direction.
Yeah, but the gas is still there.
Well, and all that fuss last week, like, please, Butch, we need you for Jerome's plan. You're the only one that can help us. And, like, where was Butch this episode? I don't know. Like, no wonder Butch and Tabitha are in love with each other, because, like, both of them do the same thing, where, like, Barbara at the beginning of the season is like, please, Tabitha, you're the only one who can, like, do this gun nightclub with me. Okay, I'll see you in 5 episodes, you know? Like, and Butch does the same thing.
They're highly underutilized. They're such good actors.
I mean, in fairness, there's a lot of people like on this, but it actually would have been a good moment if Butch was like there with Penguin this episode in the blimp, and he would have been like Penguin's conscience, like, dude, like, this guy's crazy, you know, like, you need to, like, you know, like, you wanted me to work with you again.
That you can't do the whole thing. Like, you can't. You said you wanted to take over the city with me. We can't do it if this guy's doing the crazy gas thing.
Well, that's what I could have. Sorry, go ahead.
But Jim said it, and I was all like, Penguin, honey, baby boy, precious Oswald. Why you let the homeless one? Thank you. I thought you had higher. I understand you're scared, but you also have to realize that if the city is doused in the laughing gas, you can't control it. You will have no area to control because everyone will be crazy.
It also would have been a good way.
I was gonna say that I like that about the Penguin. That like they gotta draw the line. The fact that the Penguin is, I mean, he might be a little crazy, but he's not generally as nuts as the Joker. And I was telling my brother this or Josh, but like generally the Gotham villains or the Batman villains don't like each other. So I really liked seeing him just flat out go work with the cops to stop the Joker. That felt really, really Penguin-esque to me. To the point where I like the fact that you see his cufflinks or his, like, you know, shirt cuffs. For some reason, he has an umbrella on them. I really enjoyed, and I thought like his acting was good. I really enjoyed Robert Lord Taylor all throughout this thing because while he was being kind of spastic, it was a lot more of a panicked kind of method of acting rather than just the Penguin, his usual Penguin acting. He was my favorite part in this.
Yeah, he was thinking. Well, he was thinking like, I need to survive rather than I need to control. And okay, there we go. He was thinking I had to survive instead of I had to control. And then Jim somehow pushed him to thinking like, yeah, but after you survive, what are you going to do? And then he's like, oh yeah, let me take care of this.
I thought it was more the fact that like he said Jerome scares the hell out of me. I think that like I don't remember, there may have been a scene where there may have been a scene where he's like, yeah, I forgot when they were hiding out together, like who are you going to control? But like yeah, he scares the hell out of me. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's why he was in the GCPD when he said that. When he was in the blimp, he said, I'm not going to fight this guy. You know, because he's in the air. The Joker venom's not going to affect him. And then Jim reminded him that he couldn't take over so that he would fight the guy in the blimp. That's when he said it.
If they would have used Butch in the blimp with him, too, it would have been like, if they would have realized, like, together, yeah, we can't do this, and then, like, kind of done that mutiny, you know, as a duo, that would have also made it more believable in future episodes with Butch and Penguin working together, which I still have a hard time with, you know, like, why is Butch doing this? Like, why is he back with Penguin? So, you know, that could have kind of bonded them together, like, both of them realizing, oh, you do have a conscience and you're not such a bad guy. Maybe I forgive you for all the times that you know, messed me over and chopped off my hand. So.
No, they've teamed up even after. Like, he chopped off his hand, he teamed up, he got...
Yeah, and I hated it then.
He got brainwashed by Zaz. He watched Fish, who he loved, got killed, still teamed up with him. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened between them. So, I mean, the fact that he's like, yeah, I'm done here is like one thing, but it's not beyond reason that they would hook up again. If it's a business arrangement and he has something that he wants. I think it's just easier to work. Also, you're like, oh, why don't you just kill him and look for him yourself? It's like...
Yeah, why doesn't he?
It'll take longer. Because if he already knows where range is, it'll take longer that way.
But I don't think Penguin knows where he is.
Isn't that how he got him to work with him?
He said we'll find him together.
Well, it'll be easier because Penguin's resources.
Gotham,
I
the
guess, but
search for Strange.
I feel like Butch has resources too, like because I remember like they established like in the first 2 seasons, Butch. I mean, and now we're talking about like plot holes from last week, but so maybe I'll save this for a different time.
Okay.
Anything else about Bruce's birthday, the car, Jerome, or actually, I do want to talk about Penguin and the blimp at the end.
Well, I mean, like,
what do you think about?
I do before we go there. Like, there's some shipping moments between her and Selena in this. That was kind of cute.
Yeah. I liked her coming over for his birthday, and
Alfred didn't punch her in the face this time.
I like how Alfred just like saw her there, and he just walked away quietly, like accepting this.
Like it was Andrea Beaumont.
Well, like not even like at least with Andrea Beaumont, he was like, "Oh my goodness," he was just like walking away, like, "Oh, okay, like I don't exist anymore." I'm just like, and he wasn't like annoyed. He was just like, he's accepted that this is what happens when Selena comes over now. He's just like, oh, like he's kind of at peace with her, and I do love that. Like as adversarial as the two of them have been, like. There was the moment where it was either Alfred who said it or Selena who said it. Like, I don't normally agree with Miss Kyle, or I don't normally agree with Alfred, but I do this time. So,
well,
where they were
saying,
she said,
that whole Playboy act was just an act, and he was like, I'm not so sure. Like, I don't know. It was. I think that like their character interaction has really been some of the best stuff this season.
You want to make me squeak? Because I will squeak with happiness. I was trying to avoid that.
let it all out.
I did the Peridot laugh. We're halfway there.
No, I love them. I love them so much. I love how much they read like every Catwoman Batman interaction I've ever read. They're like, hey, I like you too, except it's more like, you're dumb too. You know what I mean? And it's all like, how this flirting is like killing me. Can I have like adorable teenage kisses now? Can we do the adorable teenage kisses, guys?
Wait till you see the promo for next week.
Yeah.
No. Oh God, are there adorable teenage kisses in the next episode?
One of them tweeted. One of them tweeted. You don't see any kisses, but like one
they're
of them
like
tweeted.
leaning in for a kiss in the promo.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna fake me out and make me scream. It's fine.
Flotsam and Jetsam are gonna knock their boat over.
Who is?
Your love of Disney is both terrifying and amazing. I don't even know.
Flotsam and Jetsam were the eels in Little Mermaid, and when like Ariel like leans in for Kiss, or at the end of Kiss the Girl, they knock the boat over.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
For those of you who've never seen The Little Mermaid or don't remember,
they were more like just for the sake of novelty. Like they were more like references with Jerome. Like obviously him falling down. I mean, I was reminded of Batman '89, him falling down with an open face.
Totally.
I was about like ha 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 ha. It's a laughing box, but like
The Dark Knight, because he tried to drop before his leg got caught.
Well, also, like, isn't like, didn't he? Am I imagining this? Because again, I didn't hear very well. But like, did he say "Why so serious" at one point?
I hope
so.
He didn't.
He said you were all so serious.
Oh, there it
why.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, he said a variation of it for sure. That I do remember.
He was getting it all out there.
Definitely Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't say why. He said, and you're all so serious.
He should have like grown a mustache just to get all the references and paint over it.
I don't know if that sweet boy face can grow a mustache. Especially when the skin is grafted back on that way.
That's
like
true.
the mustache grows out the side of his.
Oh, gross.
Cameron Monaghan threw some shade at the whole like CGI like face thing of Henry Cavill on his Twitter. He was like,
as he should.
He did the picture of him as Jeremiah, and he's like, DC is always CGIing our faces. Release the non-CGI cuts.
That is not a low blow. It happened. Even Henry Cavill has made fun of that.
It was really weird. Someone sent me a picture of it, and I was like, "Oh, honey."
I didn't notice it. Dom makes fun of me all the time.
You don't notice a lot of things, though. You should stop making fun of you.
I don't. Like, I could get married, and then, like, at one point, 5 years into the marriage, my wife will swap herself out with, like, another actress or something, and I'll be like, oh, hey, honey, how are you doing? And then, like, I won't notice a thing. It'll be like the Becky's on Roseanne or something.
So your wife is suddenly Aaron Richards, and she runs the League of Assassins.
That is a good transition to our next talking point.
Yeah, let's roll up our sleeves and beat the shit out of this storyline.
It's so offensive on so many levels.
You start us off, please.
Yeah. So many issues. Mostly, it's like some white lady with some glowing hand suddenly gaining control of all these brown people, and they serve her. That part bothers me. I feel like this would have been better done if they had done it with Tabitha instead of Babs.
That would have been a twist. She was on the picture.
They walk in.
Like an old
Oh my gosh, it's me. What are you talking about, Barbara? That's me. Don't you see? I've always been Black, Tabitha. Oh, screw you. Punches her in the face. Like,
yeah, basically. But what era was that even? That wasn't even old enough.
Oh, I have no idea. Well, no. I do have a theory about it. But I'll wait my turn.
That was clearly like a European picture, and then you have the brown guy with the white lady, and she's got the red hair. And I'm like, the red hair doesn't make her another race. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe.
A few months ago, Aaron Richards posted a picture on social media of her, like, dressed up like that. Like, she had, like, the red hair in that outfit. So I guess in the next few weeks we're going to see a flashback where, like, you do see, like, who that woman is, and she's played by Aaron Richards. But, like, I do remember that picture. So we'll
at least
see.
She's still pale, and they didn't brown face her.
Yeah, she's pale in the picture because, like, earlier that day, Don had said to me, "What if Aaron Richards becomes a redhead on the show? That would be interesting." Then, like, that picture was posted that night, and I said to Don, "The Gotham writers are tapping our phones. We need to, like."
And I said, "Shit, we've been made," and like hung up.
Keep talking. We need notes for season 5.
I want to say that unless Shannon has more to say about this.
Then she kicks out Tabitha, who's the only other brown person on the show that's female.
And she gets beaten up on the street.
And then she has the other brown girls beat her up, and I'm like, oh.
How dare you talk back to our master? Yeah.
There is so. I'm willing to see where this is going, but where it is right now is very offensive. I know they are struggling. They are struggling to figure out what to do with Aaron Richards because Barbara is a useless character, and she still is a useless character and has been a useless character since the dawn of time.
Yep.
Like, no matter what she does, you could remove her from the show and it wouldn't change anything.
Yep.
It wouldn't change anything. She could have not been a part of the whole Ra's al Ghul thing. Nothing would have happened. She could have not been part of the Maniacs. Nothing would have happened. Like, literally all she was there for was to make Lee and Gordon's relationship a little rockier, and that didn't even work. Because Lee was like, yeah, I don't really care. He loves me now. He's a proud-ass man. I know, Ori, I'm not going to be jealous of you and the fact that he slept with you. You were his fiancé, now he's with me. That's how grown people work.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I liked Lee in season 2 before she was robbing banks, because she was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do all these jealous girlfriend tropes, like.
Well, that was in season 1, or was that in season 2? I don't remember, actually.
There was an episode in season 2 where, like, Barbara, like, kidnaps them both, but, like, before, she's, like, in a witness room, and, like, Gordon's like, I'm going to talk to her and play her game, and she's like, Jim, don't do it. And it's like, don't worry, Lee, I'm over her. It's like, no, I know that you're over her. I'm just saying, like, she's dangerous and she's tried to kill you multiple times. Like, don't fall for her.
And not like back in love with her, but don't fall for her stupidity.
Yeah, and then Jim did. He's like, "I'll show you where that is. Follow me in this car." All right, it's her play, Bullock. Let's do it.
2 minutes later.
Yeah, Lee was smart back then.
She was. The only thing that she did that was stupid was like date a homeless cop. That's
well,
it.
also let's not forget her arrogance, guys, which is her biggest weakness in that one episode where she was.
Don's a little salty because of Gotham Wiki.
Guys, it was a pretty homeless cop. Okay, a woman does have needs, and now it's a pretty Riddler guy.
She needs to screw homeless people. That sounds like a psychological thing. Wasn't there a movie called The Crash about that? No, that was about people in car accidents.
Riddler has an apartment. It's a step up.
Yeah, Riddler has a home.
He's a homeowner.
He's a homeless criminal. We're fine. And he wasn't even really doing anything illegal other than killing people. But
that small thing we can overlook.
They agreed to be killed.
Deleted scene from season 3 when like Gordon's at like the church trying to like tell Lee not to marry Mario. Like, come on, Lee, what does he have that I don't? For starters, an address. All right, you got.
How dare you talk to me like that?
Several addresses. He was a doctor.
You all said mafia.
I live in his house. He doesn't live in mine.
So I want to say that like this sucks. This is dumb. I can't buy it for a second. This is my destiny, and like we have this door in Gotham City for eons, but no one's been able to open it except for you, Barbara. And like Aaron Richards like cries like my destiny is to be a painting, and like Jessica Lucas can like barely roll her eyes harder than I can. It's like this.
She was all of us.
She was our spirit animal.
Tabitha in my life.
Yeah. She should have just like, I'll leave on my own. Actually, kick your ass, minions. What? And like all that kind of stuff. Now, I will say, not a spoiler. Alexander Siddiq will be back by the end of the season. Like Ra's, we'll see Ra's al Ghul again. There is a 50-50 shot of this being gigantic, like in-universe bullshit. As in, like, this is a trick for Barbara for whatever reason, because it is so bad. Like, no one can open this door but you and your glowing hand. Which could have been just, I don't know, it could have been like an STD or something, I'm not sure. But, like, it's way too convenient for her to, like, be given this sort of, like, quote-unquote destiny because, I don't know, I feel that, like, the Gotham writers are a little smarter than that. That being said, if they're going straight with this, yeah, I'm packing my bags by the end of this. But, I think that there's a shot of this being a big trick. Like even the whole like we're the sisters of the League of Assassins, we're the true League of Assassins, all that stuff is like subterfuge essentially, and Ra's for whatever weird ass reason is like playing this like rich woman, but like I mean because it would be very easy to fake up a painting as the creators did, and like have her think that she's been reincarnated by some ancient Arabian white married into money character.
I don't know what's happening. She's like the blonde woman on the show, and it bothers me.
I mean, I think that like it's a trick. It better be a trick, but I think that there's I'm not like reaching for the stars. So I really think that there's a decent chance of that happening.
That picture, I know it's going to be followed up on because of that thing that Aaron Richards posted on Instagram or one of her social media things ages ago. But I was like thinking like, okay, what are the implications of this? Is this like an old wife of Roz's or something? And then like I went down the thought rabbit hole. I was like, wait, so maybe that means that she's an ancestor of Roz, and this is like her relative, and that means that. And I was like, and maybe she's Talia. And then like I stopped myself immediately. Like, wait, no. That doesn't make sense because her and Roz were lovers, and that would be incest, and
also gross.
Yeah, so gross. And I was like, I really don't think that the show would do that. And now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm like, or would they? And then I'm saying no, they won't. Like they're not going to have Alexander Siddiq was having sex with his daughter or like great granddaughter or something. So she could be in the picture without being related to Roz, or like we could find out that, I don't know, the Keene family or something, had something to do with like the League of Shadows ages ago.
Jesus
Although
Jones.
they didn't defend themselves when they were like slaughtered by their daughter in season 1, though. So who the heck knows?
I mean, these guys will die for whatever Ra's says. I mean, all the League of Assassins will gladly die for no reason if Ra's al Ghul tells them to. So
I am glad that Tabitha was like kind of speaking for the audience and almost breaking the fourth wall in this episode, being like, this is really out of character for you, and like your plot line is hanging out at nightclubs and like fencing stuff and like, hanging out with me and Selena. Like it's
let's not forget that like the League of Assassins have followed whatever Barbara has done, which is apparently just murder Chinese gangs in Gotham.
Yeah, now they're like, you're supposed to do more than this. Now they tell her. And then she's like, tell me everything. After she said that, after getting the hand.
I know, exactly. That totally, yeah, exactly. Like that was like, tell me what I need to know. Episodes later, we've wasted our time killing Chinese gangs long. Like, what the
Tell me everything.
This is what happened. They were like, all right, we'll tell you everything. Then they started to talk. But then the original Chinese guy came in, and Barbara's like, hold on, let me take care of this. Then she had to kick that guy out for whatever reason, or like do whatever she did to that guy that got those guys mad. And they just got distracted. So they've been dealing with like Chinese people for like the last like 2 weeks. Because I know that they skipped this plot line like a week ago or something when it was the Maze episode. So, yeah.
But if they had actually just they came in after that one part, and then she said, "Tell me everything," without the whole like Tong coming in there, that would have been fine. It'd have been like, okay, so it's a weird time discrepancy, but at least we're figuring out what happened after that. We're getting like a flashback to that because there wasn't enough time in the last episode. But it was more just like, it didn't. Wait, were they even wearing? They weren't even wearing the same clothes. So,
well, I mean, this is weeks later, because that was like when Mad Hatter and Jerome and Scarecrow escaped from jail, and then like, so last week they did the whole Jerome Maze thing, and now this is happening. Unless we're supposed to believe that like this is taking place at like a different time than the other stuff was.
Which could happen because it's a separate storyline. But the point is, the lady immediately said, "Tell me everything. The sisters of the League of Shadows are ready to serve you. Tell me everything." And then, this door is the only thing. Oh yeah, go ahead, kick her butt. Now tell me everything.
And what does everything
They didn't tell me everything before you open the door. I can't.
I really think this episode was like written in like the 11th hour. Like this is a first draft. Like I really like the whole Jerome plan thing, just on a technical level. And like the whole tell me everything episodes later. I don't know anything now. Oh, my destiny, of course. It's like.
And then of course Bullock shows up. You're with the doc.
Has the real Bullock been kidnapped for years, and he's just now being unfrozen by the Avengers?
No, he just legitimately forgot. Like,
he also forgot that he barely came back to the cop.
Bullock, her and I broke up 2 years ago for mysterious reasons. She like stopped writing to me in jail. I can't figure out why. Do we have anything else to say before we move on to the other, like, promo fan mail and
We
stuff?
could always bash this Barbara plotline a little bit more. I'm enjoying that.
Oh, by all means, if you have more to say about the Barbara plotline.
Wait, have you said anything about this plot?
Say what?
I think it's just been me and Don talking about how offensive it's been.
No, I mean, I talked about how Tabitha spoke for us. I talked about
the white person in the room in these scenes, and everyone is cowing to her except for Tabitha. And Tabitha gets like made an example of for standing up to her.
Tabitha could kick Barbara's ass, I feel. I know that Barbara has been trained in the ancient art of bullshit, but like I feel that Tabitha like actually is like a tougher person.
Yeah, when she was outside and she was like, "Bring it," I was like, if it wasn't the League of Assassins, she would have totally owned this.
I was wondering, like, she better not win because of that. Like 4-1 League of Assassins. but it wasn't Gordon.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, she wasn't Gordon on the touch virus.
Yeah, with the Spear of Destiny, like that still is that's like in my top 3. Like, this pisses me off moments of Gotham.
That's in my top 3. What moments?
You're the master, Jim Gordon. Yeah, I know.
He's got the glow.
No, he's not Time Mac.
That'll be a cleanup on aisle 6.
I want to do a commentary on that podcast, which I know was a live recording, and just say Donovan should have bitched about that way more.
Bitched about what?
The whole League of Assassins, Gordon, like Super Gordon fight, like.
Oh, God, that was so random. You're the monster. Like, that whole episode was like very. I don't know what's happening right now, but okay.
What if McKenzie becomes the Joker?
Then Josh would be like, oh, let's see where this is going.
the real Gordon comes off a train like, I'm the real James Gordon. I was replaced.
I've been watching Henry James Jordan this entire time.
You said Jordan.
I did.
and he looks like Commissioner Gordon from the comics. He's like,
the real James Gordon, and he's Michael Jordan.
Well, it's an Armin Tamzarian situation because remember Gordon was in the army at the beginning of the series, so
the only thing I care about is my hair.
The real Gordon was missing in action, so this homeless guy took his place to try and get veteran benefits, and now the real Gordon's returned.
This really is like the most Gotham Chronicle podcast episode of Gotham Chronicle podcast ever.
Pretty much, Gordon's been a homeless mermaid. He's been a homeless, Armin Tamzarian. So he becomes Joker, and we get this really serious, almost Captain Barnes guy who's like, no, we must obey the law and order, and light the bat signal and stuff like that.
His cousin, who looks exactly like him.
Okay, so that's entertainment. So we have another comment from episode 16, one of my 3 soups, and which was 2 episodes ago. DC Marvel fan guy on YouTube said, "Great show as always, man. You guys really hate Mad Hatter." We do. I can understand that. Personally, I think Mad Hatter is one of the best villains on Gotham.
So you can understand or you can't understand that?
He says he can understand that. I think Mad Hatter is one of the best villains on Gotham. I think things with the Alex Tech virus dragged too long and got too convoluted, but Jervis has always been creepy and entertaining to watch, in my opinion. I love how he and Scarecrow are getting along really well. Reminds me of The Long Halloween and those scenes in Batman the Animated Series where you could see Jervis and Jonathan hanging out in the rec room playing checkers. I quite like the trio of Jervis, Jonathan, and Jerome, JJJ. Gotham is probably the only DC TV show currently on the air that knows how to utilize the Rogues Gallery, something I was always grateful.
The Flash has a really good Rogues Gallery. Well, the heavy hitters are really good, like Zoom, Thawne, Captain Cold.
I think he means the Batman's Rogues Gallery.
He's the only DC show, period.
No, only DC TV show. Yeah, I think a lot of the other shows do villains of the week. Now, I'm behind on some of the other TV shows. I'm a year behind in Supergirl, but they're kind of more villains of the week, and they're better with their supporting cast. Flash has good villains, but I don't think that they're as in depth as a Robin. We don't have a Robin Lord Taylor on that show.
I would say, half the cast is legitimately the villains in this show, and I think that gives them an advantage. But I would say that the Reverse Flash is a better villain than I would say every other villain in Gotham except for Jerome, probably because he was amazing.
Hey! How dare you? Hugo Strange.
Okay, well, Hugo Strange is the best villain of all of television.
Ooh.
Taking him out of the equation because it's not fair. Reverse Flash is seriously good.
Well, I will allow it.
But I was going to say that just really quick, I actually kind of found the villains to be cheesy in this episode. Because I remember like Scarecrow and Mr. Freeze kind of just walking around, following orders, as you know they always do. It kind of, I know Jan's going to flip out, but it kind of reminded me of like the Schumacher stuff, because there was a weird, like, what are you doing here? Make this guess. How much? All of it. Ugh. Like, it was very kind of just like melodramatic and not scary.
Yeah, I don't think of Schumacher when I see that stuff. I think of the TV show,
like the '60s show,
where things were campy. Yeah, so I get the nice advantage of being able to block out the movie forever.
I like Batman Forever, but like I don't know. It kind of depends. I don't like the Mad Hatter because. Why don't I know why I don't like the Mad Hatter. It's like I think the actual I've said it before. The actual character of like the original Mad Hatter is a very fascinating character, and in the TV version, he's like stupid. Like he has dumb reasons for doing things. He's kind of annoying with his rhyming, and his mind control thing is never creative. It's all just having people kill themselves and generally people of color.
Mad Hatter's racist.
Yes.
I don't like him because I find him generally just annoying. I love Jervis Tetch. I love the Mad Hatter. It really freaked me out when they said, like, oh, I'm so obsessed with my sister. I was like, are they going the incest route here? Considering he called her Alice and he's the Mad Hatter. And in the comic books, they were always like, she was always like this perfect idealized love interest.
Yeah.
So that was already bad flavor in my mouth. I was just like, whoa, let's hold on off here. And while they never actually defined what the level of obsession was, for me, that's always just been there in my back of my mind. Like, he wanted to bone his sister because she was like the only person for him. And like, she was literally like the only person he wanted ever. And it wasn't like defined in a romantic sense, but it was just stating that we need to be together all the time is what he said. Period.
She did imply that he had wronged her. Like, I remember she said he's like done things to me that a brother should never do to a sister. I remember that line.
Yeah, exactly. So that was already gross. The Jervis in the cartoon, the Jervis in the animated series was going for women, like younger women, but they weren't like teenagers. I believe the Jervis in the Batman comics might have gone a little younger because he was looking for a perfect Alice.
That sounds like a cop out, but that legitimately depends on the story, because in like Robin Year One, he kidnaps like teenagers because he wants to dress them up as Alice, and like I don't know what he was trying to do. And in like Batman Haunt at Night, he kidnaps Barbara Gordon, who's really young in the story. She's not Batgirl in that. Yeah, so he does. He's kind of like he has a thing for like younger women for his Alice kind of thing. That is legitimate, but like in the animated series, it was a coworker. Like it was somebody that like who wasn't underage that he had a crush on.
What was the cop out part?
Sorry?
You said that sounds like a cop out. What was the cop out part?
Oh, like it changes from story to story. Because I remember in the New 52, there was this awful story where like it was like this. He had this crush he had all his life that he wanted to call Alice and stuff like that. But I think the common thing. I was going backwards. Yeah, I think the common thing is legitimately him being into like 13 to 15-year-olds and just dressing them up as Alice and putting them in a gigantic like Wonderland. Because he's never. Yeah. He's not. People like to have this idea that he's like a child molester, and that's never really been stated in comics. Like he's never legitimately like wanted to screw children. But I think it's because of the whole Lewis Carroll connection. But that is the kind of pattern that the character has.
Yeah, but I never saw him as somebody who wanted to like actually like screw them. I just be with them. But the way that he was written in Gotham was just, especially after the whole aging up Ivy thing. It's going back to this. Like the show has a really big thing on pedophilia that really bothers me. I don't mind the rhyming. The hypnotism I don't really care about.
At least he was using a clock this week, as opposed to the other weeks where it was his voice alone.
Well,
I think maybe it was like cadence that he was using when he was doing it. He like figured something out.
Well, I was trying to remember because the whole thing with the hats, and like there was like a decade where he was like into hats, but like he's like a scientist. Like he does mind control with technology, and I was trying to remember if he has ever done that in the show. I mean, if he's not, that's fine. But like I forgot legit. Like he's never
not
put
in this show. He hasn't used the cards.
Sorry.
He's just used in this show. He hasn't used the cards at all.
Right.
He just used hypnotism, and what really bothered me is that there weren't people who were resisting, like trying to pull someone off, because not everybody can be hypnotized. It shouldn't be like everybody. There should have been like,
They're all
I know it's a TV show, but there should have been like awesomely like someone like trying to like freak out and like running around like I don't know what to do. They would come off the roof, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just to have like, I know they were trying to go for a dramatic effect of having them all up on the roofs, like about roofs, whatever,
rooftops,
trying to jump off. They could have also had like people like running around on the ground. Like my mom's up there, and every time I try to tell her to come down, she keeps trying to step over. You know, just have like people panic on the street too, because that would have been like a really big effect.
One thing I would also say is that like this, I appreciate the commenters' sentiments, but I think that this show takes for granted like the psychosis of the villains, and this is we're like, but like I mean I don't know what the Scarecrow wants to do. I don't really know what Jervis Tetz wants to do. I know Mr. Freeze like my experiments, but like he doesn't do anything on his own. He just kind of waits for people to call him up, and this is
money.
Well, this is why, like, generally, even going back to the '60s show, the Bat villains are so up their own asses that they don't like teaming up with each other. Which, like, go back to the '60s movie, like they get in arguments like virtually every other scene. It's hilarious. And then, like, the animated series, like, the whole "get out of my face, clown," which one kind of thing, and like they have their own goals, their own ambitions, and when they are brought together, they're always kind of grumbling about it, like my enemy is against me kind of issue. Like, and then this one, it's like they're all kind of like laughing and like slapping each other on the knee, like, "Oh, this will be great." And it's like, this isn't Dick Tracy.
To be fair, Scarecrow is still a child. He's still a teenager, possibly just nearly 18. But
we don't know what he looks like
possibly
under that mask anymore. He hasn't taken it off in weeks.
Possibly trapped in a childlike mind, so that could be a thing. Because he's basically an emo teenager with fear gas. Firefly is also still a child. Mr. Freeze underwent a chemical whatever. So I can write off all of these people. I do like that he said that it was like the one scene where Scarecrow and the Mad Hatter are playing checkers, because they also, I think, Scarecrow and the Mad Hatter, I know for sure, both of them were on the Halloween issue of the Dark Knight comic in the New 52, with one more person, I can't remember. I think it might have been Penguin.
Oh, yeah,
they were walking around, and that was like such a fun issue.
The cyber stuff, yeah.
I want to thank you for bringing that up, because it made me think of that fun issue. So it's not the first time that they get along. They get along fine.
And next week's episode is well, and by the way, thank you for writing in. Feel free to leave comments on the website, thebatmanuniverse.net, or email to podcast@thebatmanuniverse.net. Leave iTunes reviews, say stuff on the YouTube page. There's many ways to get in touch with us. Tell us what you think about Jeremiah, Homeless Cops, and Beyond. Next week's episode is called To Our Deaths and Beyond. Gordon, say what?
I said, ooh.
Yeah. Gordon and Bullock try to figure out who the clever thief is behind the robberies of various bank branches in Gotham. It's my ex, isn't it? My evil one. You need to be more specific, Gordon. Meanwhile, Barbara is put in danger, forcing Tabitha to recruit help in the all-new The Dark Knight To Our Deaths and Beyond.
Who gives a shit? Like, oh no, Barbara's in danger. Tabitha to the rescue. Like, doesn't she hate her now?
Dear Tabitha, just let the woman die and be your own woman.
Well,
You
and I
have a
legit,
man you, and you have basically a pseudo daughter. Just let that happen.
I legitimately was thinking about it. Like, why doesn't Tabitha just cut her losses and run? And I was like, you know what? Like, I guess she feels like, yeah, she has nowhere to go because she can't go and work for Penguin because I don't know. He's a little pissed at her.
It's a better
for some
idea. Just
reason.
leave Gotham City.
Something to do with
the money that she
something
already
to do with killing
has,
his mom.
and do her own thing.
I don't think she has
She doesn't
money
have
anymore.
She's looking
Yeah.
pretty fancy for somebody who's poor.
I mean, Barbara King
Because
gives
she's running a business.
Barbara King gives her an allowance.
She does get paid.
There's a whole other show that you guys are always mentioning that I'm never seeing on the show. It sounds better written.
They talked about her being poor in like the early episodes of the season, and like Barbara said, you know, like work for me, get a job. You know, like
yeah, back in November. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the season. She's been poor forever. Her family is destroyed. The cult is destroyed. She ain't got no monies. She was squatting with...
So she never had any money working at the nightclub? Not once?
Well, she had a salary, but like, you know...
Yeah, the salary, dude. Or at least a cut.
That's one of the reasons why she's dependent on Barbara, because she can't work for Penguin. She killed Penguin's mom. You know, where's she going to go?
This makes no sense. All right. Okay.
Guest cast list is Carolyn Strong as Susan, that classic character from the comics, and Shiva, I can't pronounce her last name, as Lila, which is
Shiva.
They haven't said who Lila is, but I'm assuming just through the last few weeks that's that League of Assassins girl that's been like talking to Barbara.
I'm looking, and Carolyn Strong. Yeah. I guess she's not been in the show yet. She's been in Daredevil.
Oh yeah, I was joking when I said that classic character. And here is the promo.
Thank you, because I haven't seen it yet. Looks like I'm going to have to kill some eels.
Previously, I saw a vision.
This is going to be loud because I'm watching my computer.
I saw a vision. Molding you into a dark night of Gotham. Molding you into a dark night of Gotham. Only Thursday on Fox. Thursday on Fox.
I'm thinking that's that decomposed body of Roz talking to Barbara or something, and then like that's him like rise. I don't know. Just they're shooting around a lot of things in the promo, but it looks like this is going to be like the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. And then the other thing they're talking about, the mysterious bank robber. I guess this is like, you know, Lee Enigma's bank robbing adventure. And I've seen promo images that I guess Tabitha is going to be teaming up with Bruce and Selena. And I do wonder if Bruce is going to be like, didn't like your cult try to sacrifice me 2 years ago?
Let bygones be bygones. I wonder if he should ask, hey, whatever happened to Silver St. Cloud?
Ooh, he should ask.
Oh, she's doing well. You know, her and her daughter. How old's the daughter? Oh, about 2 years old. And like Bruce takes out his calculator. Oh God.
Maybe she.
I just kissed her in the jail cell. I didn't know I could get females pregnant.
Alfred was not very good at teaching him sex ed. You see, Master B.
When a man and woman love each other, they touch the mouths and then babies are born.
Oh my gosh, I've impregnated Selena and Silver St. Cloud. What have I done?
Alfred sounds like he works at a crisis pregnancy center.
Random women that kissed in the club.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Dude, you would have illegitimates all over the place. You're just thinking about the ones on screen. Remember he woke up in bed with 2 girls?
Yeah.
Heavy sigh.
So, any thoughts about that promo and the situation?
Right. Hi, Alexander Siddiq. That's a gnarly looking hand you have there. I kind of like Bruce has like Super Saiyan hair for some reason. I guess everybody has a haircut every 5 episodes, but I like how horrified he looks at this thing. Because this is like, you know, kind of supernatural stuff that Gotham hasn't technically really dug itself into, even though half a dozen characters have returned back to life. But let's not get into that. I feel that honestly, without Jerome, and kind of getting more like the Riddler stuff and like the Barbara stuff, this kind of feels more like Gotham. I feel that I've enjoyed the Jerome stuff moderately, but that I don't know. Because I guess it's because the present Cameron Monaghan that adapts a certain quality to it or a different quality to it, whereas this one kind of feels more back at home, where we're dealing with what are Lee and Riddler going to do? What is Rachel going to do? What's Barbara going to do? So I don't know. It'll be more familiar territory, I think.
That's because Cameron just steals everything. It's like, oh, hey, he's back. Let me face shove every other plot line into oblivion to pay attention to Cameron Monaghan. That's what happens whenever he shows up. I just want sweet teenage love kisses. Leaning in. I will make some eels if they flip that boat.
Killed Ursula the Sea Witch. I know Jordan. I think his name is Valdez. He's commented on our show, and we're friends with him on Facebook. He's a very big Batman and Catwoman shipper, and he was saying oh my gosh, they best not be toying with me right now. They're getting married in the comics. You have to make them kiss.
Yeah, no, my friend was all like, did they ever do anything with that? Because I feel like, did she ever become a good guy? And I'm like, yeah, they're married. And she's like, what?
Well, they're not married yet, but fingers
but they
crossed.
will be.
I mean, and they were married in another continuity, before.
But technically, they are married.
Well, what do you mean by technically they are married?
They're married in the other continuity.
They're married, like both in the New 52 Earth 2 and also the one that we care about, Earth 2.
Well, because that Earth 2 is destroyed, so I guess they're still married even if that rail is destroyed. The DC universe is a weird place.
Yeah.
So until next time, this is Josh.
And this is Jan.
This is Dawn.
And you've been listening to the Gotham Chronicle podcast, Freaky Friday edition. Whoa!
Part of your world.
He's so beautiful.
What would I give to live where you are?
What would I pay to stay here beside you?
What would I give to see you smiling at me?
Where would we walk?
Where would we run?
If we could stay all day in the sun.
You're hotter than Lee.
And I could be part of your world.
We just gotta forget this whole thing ever happened. The Sea King will never know. You won't tell him. I won't tell him. I will stay in one piece.
I don't know when.
I don't know how. But I know something's starting right now.
Watch and you'll see.
Someday I'll be part of your
This episode was called That's Entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's entertainment.
I don't know the words to that song. Otherwise, that would.
I know that part.
Yeah, I know that. And I know, Stephen Lacey always sings it on the Fantastic Cast. Or Angela.
That's it, right?
Something like that. Alright, plotlines are Valeska Brothers and Barbara Keene. And I think that's it. Just two plotlines this week.
Generally, yeah. There was a Bruce thing, but it led it to the Valeska thing.
I mean, the Bruce thing was the.
There was that one. There was two scenes, and then he went towards the Jerome thing, and because I feel that after he got into the Jerome thing, he kind of went away. So.
But those scenes weren't really a plotline. It was just it was just happy birthday, Bruce. Bruce, for your birthday, I want you to put this bomb on your neck and go on stage with this guy that wants to kill kill you. Are you sure that's wise, Mr. Gordon? Oh, no. It's not. It's not wise at all. But, like, let's just see what happens. We have a plan. And there's like a 60% chance of success. 60? Well, like 40. I mean, or 30. I don't know.
Your plan sucks, so let me make the plan so it sucks less.
Yeah. All right. So I have
Futon Critical Link.
Go. I'm going to replace his legs with the legs of a velociraptor, just to make things interesting. I borrowed these from another movie I'm working. Yeah.
That would be perfect, though, if he came back and all he do was like Velociraptor screech at everybody.
Oh my god, he's more powerful than ever.
It's a Ben McKenzie episode.
he goes into the GCVD and Gordon's like, don't move. He can't see us if we don't move. That's T-Rex's. Uh-oh.
He can open doors.
Gordon is like crawling around on the kitchen floor like Tim and Lex. Where are you? Yes, Gotham season 5 confirmed.
But always remember that it's BD Wong is playing the same guy in Jurassic Park. Life finds a way.
If Peabody shows up in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I will like see that movie 10 times in theaters.
That's because Peabody's the thing, and we need her back.
Yeah. So, and nothing else.
You want to talk, Mister? Give it an F because you didn't like the cover.
Yeah, I'll own up to that. Yeah. Well, but at least it was a cover for the current issue, and I wasn't like, I'm giving it an F because in a year I think that they're going to do a cover that I don't like. It's, yeah, one of my unproudest moments on a podcast was when we were on Spider-Man Crawl Space. A moment that I'm not proud of is I gave an issue an F because like I was really, really, really triggered by the cover. So,
what was the cover?
It's not worth getting.
You're going to ask me to explain this and make me sound even worse than it.
Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to.
No. I'll tell you. I mean, I should own up to this, but basically, there was a cover, like it was Spider-Man and a bunch of heroes, like in the actual book, and Silver Sable was one of them, where they were brainwashed and Dr. Octopus was involved, but the cover only showed the characters that were in the Avengers movie that was like coming out at that time, and like it purposely ignored other characters who like had bigger roles in the book, like Silver Sable, who sacrifices herself that issue. But because she wasn't in the Avengers, they basically positioned a cover so that like a 12-year-old fan would be like, oh wow, these are just like the people in that Avengers movie I'm seeing that I love so much. I better buy this comic. And I was madder about it at the time than I should have been. So, Dan Slott, if you're listening to the Gotham Chronicle podcast, which I know you do, I apologize.
Do you?
Nah, for that I will. There's other things I won't apologize.
It was funny, so.
I can see why you'd be upset, though, because there are more important things in that movie, in that book, and they were slighted for the sake of capitalism. But yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on this one. I wouldn't give the whole book an F, but I can understand why you're upset about the cover.
You know, Donovan didn't see The Little Mermaid till like 3 or 4 years ago when I made him watch it.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
You need to sit down and watch all the Disney films.
He's seen most of them, but he had not seen like The Little Mermaid, so I was like, dude, you're gonna watch this, and then we like had to talk about like, there's like a whole debate, like, is this movie anti-feminist? Because like Ariel never learns a lesson, or like she never like gets her comeuppance for like, you know, the wrong things.
The girl being a rat, putting her whole entire world in danger because she wants to hook up with a boy.
It wasn't my idea. I think I just read that somewhere. We talked about it.
Yeah. I think Donovan wound up like being kind to the movie.
None of the movies are anti-feminist. It's like such a problem. Like they're like, oh my god, Cinderella's a gold digger. She just wanted to go to a party and got nice. Wait.
She wasn't a gold digger. She's like, I hate being a slave. Let me do anything else in life.
Like in the movie, she says like, maybe I'll dance with the prince. She's not like, maybe he'll marry me and I'll become the queen. It was kind of like, I just want to go to the party, dance with a nice guy, just have a dream, like a vacation from like, you know, talking with mice and birds all day.
I want to go with people.
Look at this badge. Isn't it neat?
Well, you know, the opening for...
Wouldn't you think my career is complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the cop who has everything?
But a home.
Yeah. That would be the chorus. Like,
I want to sleep where the people sleep. I want to have a pillow and blanket. Snuggling up under those, what do you call them? Oh, sheets. Up where they eat, up where they rest.
How do you have that's completely written already?
Wandering free, then I won't be a homeless cop.
Oh, that's right. You've been swimming in this ocean for a long time.
Well, he finally has an apartment of his own.
For some reason, I see Peabody as Ursula. She's like, I'll give you an apartment, but you'll have to lose your voice.
But my voice, it's so beautiful.
That's awesome.
No. Sheldon takes anything more precious. Sheldon takes his gun.
Keep singing.
That was great. Oh, that's wonderful.
What's a doorknob and why does it? What's the word? Turn.
Oh my god.
He walks into other buildings. He's been in buildings.
He combs his hair at work because he's never been in a kitchen.
He always has. He doesn't open doors. He kicks them down and goes, JC, mayday.
He opens the door to has a doorknob. So why don't you say, what is a stovetop and why does it look like a bird?
Okay.
When's it my turn?
There's so many things we have to accept about this premise. First of all, Ben McKenzie's Gordon wants to sing.
It took me a few... I had to...
Gotham. I'm not even gonna lie.
Say what?
They're gonna do one.
Do what?
They're gonna have the Music Man come on, and the entire episode's gonna be a musical.
Oh, we got trouble in Gotham City.
If they use like if they legitimately use the ideas from our song parodies like for a season 5 musical, like we're lawyering up.
That's when we get like regular roles on the TV show.
It's the writers are like we're just gonna pay you guys as consulting producers. How about that?
It's about damn time.
I had to rewind the conversation in my head, like, wait, how did we get here? And I was like, okay, Little Mermaid, Flotsam and Jetsam, Leaning In for a Kiss.
Yeah,
oh yeah, Batman and Catwoman. Okay, that's where we were.
I want to be where the people sleeps.
Wandering free.
You just sound like such a scumbag when you talk like that. sound like a hero.
So, like, Sebastian is trying to, like, convince her to, like, live in the sea, not on the... So Gordon has someone, like, saying, I don't know, like, sleep on the street, sleep on the street. Gordon, it's better. The gutter... Say what?
I said, now we have the closing parody.
Yeah. Gordon,
it's going to be like, why is this happening? Then they're going to get it here, and it's going to be like, in the blooper section, just you putting the thing together yourself.
Gordon, it's better. The gutter is wetter for you and me. Up in the homes, I don't know, like, they paid their rent.
Which character is the Jamaican crab again?
I don't know. Who would convince Gordon that he doesn't need a home?
Mr. Pig.
He does sound the closest, yes.
He just comes back from the dead. He was picking up the homeless people.
Or like Jerome for some reason, or I don't know, like, or...
Yeah, so much for that Live in La Vida Loca parody.
I can't even think of lyrics. Someone has to write it for me.
I mean, I started some of the lyrics for Living La Vida Joker, and luckily with Jeremiah, we have, like, you know, any number of episodes this season where we can plug that in. Yeah, like, he'll make you take your... It was like, he'll make you take your face off or something. Oh no, he'll because of this episode, I was like, he'll make you blow your head off and go dancing in the rain. He'll gas up his brother and he'll make him go insane. Yeah, it's gonna infect his brain.
I mean, he did. He's dead.
Inside out, live in La Vida Joker.
Oh,
everyone is dead.
Oh yeah, and then she dated that guy Mario afterwards. Mario, where? JCPD.
Josh, we need to start whipping you whenever you do that.
At this point, Josh is having him shoot before he yells GCPD. He did it backwards.
Like,
I just need to shoot the thing, then I can, like...
10 points for Gryffindor whenever you do the whole, like knee-jerk GCPD, Mario, where, bang, bang, bang. It's getting less and less relevant.
Wait, are you a Gryffindor?
I am a Gryffindor, yeah.
No, not you. You said 10 points from Gryffindor. What is Josh? I thought he was on Hufflepuff.
I don't know Harry Potter.
How do you nanny kids and don't know Harry Potter? You need to go to Pottermore and take the test and then give me an answer.
I take them to Harry Potter World at Universal all the time.
Go to Pottermore.com, take the test, and then give me an answer.
How long does it take to take the test?
5 minutes.
10 minutes.
Alright, so nothing that I can do while we're on the podcast then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took Donovan and Stella to Harry Potter World, and like I know, like I've seen 2 of the movies. I have like I could pick out Ron Weasley from a lineup. I know.
That's just like brothers.
The one that's obviously not Harry.
yeah. I know Hermione's the girl. Snape is like, you know, the guy with black hair who talks like this. And then Hagrid is like the big guy with the beard. Yeah, something like that, right? And then Professor McGonagall was on Downton Abbey. And if you're a Muggle, that means that you that you're not magic. Because like.
But you don't know what your house is. That's the important part.
In fairness, I didn't know until my coworker yelled at me about it.
And there's the Dementors, which like Michael Scott like used as prison like too. They fly around. When you go on the Harry Potter ride at Universal, there's the Dementors try and get you, and like Daniel Radcliffe, like who like filmed scenes for the ride, he's like, no, leave them alone, because like for some reason the Dementors care about us.
Dementors just feed on fear and suck it out of you, that's why.
Suck it out of your face.
So they get crazy, and then they like suck the fear out, they suck the life out of you while you're scared. So then you go crazy. That's why they care about you. That's their job. They just float up to you so you get scared. Oh, okay.
By the way, I took the test. I'm a Slytherin.
You're a Slytherin?
Apparently. I do remember, like, he didn't want to be a Slytherin. He's like, no Slytherin. And the Hat's like, ooh, I don't know. Please, not a Slytherin. And then I remember that, like, you know, blonde douchebag who later, like, worked with Barry Allen was also a Slytherin.
Yes.
Yeah, that's because Slytherins are ambitious and seek their own means, and they get shit done.
You're a Slytherin.
That is not me. Well, that's me at Comic-Con. That's not me the rest of the year, though.
You do a lot of stuff. I thought that John was going to be a Ravenclaw with as heady as he is, but apparently he came out as a Gryffindor. But I guess he's like Hermione in that way. Hermione chose to be in Gryffindor, but she was supposed to be in Ravenclaw.
I don't really remember too much.
Because she wanted to hang out with Harry.
I don't really remember too much of what characterizes Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff are the loyal ones, and they're good at finding things. They're basically every kid who's ever rejected from the specials program gets put in there. So when they find a friend, they're like their best friend, and they're also like to me the second strongest house. Because after all, the Slytherin got kicked out of Hogwarts for the Battle of the Hogwarts. The Hufflepuffs were the ones that stood the most. Ravenclaws they're like, yeah, I don't see the point in this. And they left. So
that promo.
Because we're brave.
Don, you've seen the promo, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
So I expect the Little Mermaid parody to be on my desk by Monday morning.
It's already.
He just has to go back and listen to the recording and then write those lyrics.
Well, like, look at this badge, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think that my life is so neat? Wouldn't you think I'm a cop who has everything?
A cop who has everything.
Look at this. Okay, so what would it be for look at this?
Look at this locker. Has all my stuff.
Or like, yeah.
Look at this bench. I sleep on it enough.
Looking around here, you think, sure, he's got everything. I've got bullets and squad cars aplenty. I've got Alvarez and Harper to boss. You want homeless sex? Wait, you want homeless sex? I've had plenty. But who cares? No big deal. I want more.
Didn't you call you called like the Riddler and Lee thing riddle sex to Harry on the other night? Did you see the episode with riddle sex? And he was like, well, that may be me.
I want to live where the people live. I want to have a bedroom and kitchen, cuddling up under those, what do you call them? Oh, sheets. Sleeping in streets, you don't get much rest. Beds are required for snoring.
This is actually very sad and depressing.
Napping.
This is actually what, Don?
Sad and depressing.
Oh my god.
Having warm hands and feet. Up where they eat. Up where they sleep. Up where their life's
something about complete, I don't know.
Wandering free. Then I won't be a homeless cop.
What would I give
if I could have my own garage? What would I take to be able to lay upon the couch? Betcha in homes, they understand that you don't reprimand your captains for shooting first. For shooting first. And that's first.
Ready the blast, and ready to have my own address. Receiving mail and something.
And Amazon packages.
What's a stove and why does it? What's the word? Burn. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to have a roof up above?
Wait, now I've forgotten why. When did Little Mermaid come up again?
Shut up, that's what it came up.
Shut up.
Just me and Lee. Then I won't be a homeless cop.
I'm now picturing
with your blonde parody.
I'm now picturing. Yeah, this is pretty good. I'm not picturing Ben McKenzie against a rock as an orgasmic splash of water goes behind him with his big fish tail.
Orgasmic.
Yeah, I'm like picturing him like trying to swim through that like hole. Like for some reason he's in Ariel's grotto.
Oh my god, you guys are gonna murder me.
Lucius, what's this? Is this a dingle hopper? No.
That's what happened. Just quietly sneeze at him.
Jesus Christ, Gordon, we don't know what a fork is.
It's a fork, Gordon. You're a grown-ass man. What's wrong with you?
Is this a dingle hopper?
Everyone has forks in their kitchen. Yes, kitchens, which everyone has, of course.
I don't go on 4chan or 8chan or anything like that, but I feel like this is kind of what that must be like. It's like the most nonsensical things. This is a parody of a show that it's not even like.
The only way to get what you want is to have a home yourself. Can you do that? My dear sweet child. That's what I mean. What I want from you is your voice. But without my voice, how will I? You'll have your looks. Your pretty face. And don't underestimate the importance of body language.
Oh yeah,
You mean shooting? Oh.
Come on, you poor homeless soul.
No, we're good. That one was good. That one.
Yeah, no need to transform the entire 90 minutes into one song.
The Gotham Chronicle, by season 5, we don't even cover the show anymore. We just write fan fiction musicals of the show, an entire 90-minute reimagining of the Little Mermaid.
So when they say you go to Tribeca or one of the
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. They'll listen to the parody, right? And then they'll watch the show and just be like, but it's the exact same thing.
How did you know? The Gordon Mermaid. He's got a seashell bra for some reason. Gordon, you're a guy. You don't need that.
You don't care. Gordon does what he wants.
I don't know when. I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now.
Oh god, you're just in it.
The reprise, yeah, where Ariel's on the rock, and Donovan was horrified at that part. He's like, Jesus Christ, that's so sexual.
What's so sexual?
When she says, I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now.
I don't know if I was horrified, but I was the visual metaphor is as direct as I've ever seen it.
Yeah, her sexual awakening.
Yeah, as a 10-year-old to watch that, I did not see that at all. And the other 5 times I watched that as an adult, I didn't see it like that either. But okay.
I never did until Don told me.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks.
No, yeah. It's not bad. It's just it's there. More so than the whole Lion King Sex in the Sky thing, whatever else is like in the kind of Snopes page for these movies.
I'm gonna have. Okay, I can't do a Lion King. Gotham Bear.
I need to rewatch Lion King.
That's gonna have to be for Bruce at a later time.
Yeah, because
it's
it would be like no one's seen before.
No, it would be so Lena and Tabitha are looking at like Barbara being led away by the League of the Shadows. Don't you see, Selena? Barbara, the League, alone. I can see what's happening. What? And they don't have a clue.
Oh.
She'll join the League, and here's the bottom line: the siren's down to 2. Oh.
Why did one of them become Pumbaa?
Why the?
They're just women.
Oh, that was delicious.
Okay, guys, we have to stop. Oh god, Josh, you were on a roll tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I could not stop laughing.
I find that like as the season tends to like kind of wind down, Josh's like hit and miss ratio really ramps up. Like I remember last season, every episode I was like gasping for air.
Yes, I think it's also because like we need the laugh because it's just so freaking infuriating.